It's just part of my life, really. My father was a biology teacher. My brother is a biology teacher. In the summertime, my dad would bring back what would be considered to be strange animals, lizards and snakes and certain reptiles and amphibians and insects and stuff. My brother's a big herpetologist. His kind of thing is about reptiles, and I love reptiles too, and I keep them at home. But my thing is entomology, which is the study of insects, which I've been into and I've studied them over the years, and I'm a big fan. I would come back from these trips and tell my agent about these trips. You know, I went to India to work with king cobras when I was like 20. I went to Thailand to swim with whale sharks when I was like 22. And I would tell him, you know, I went to Borneo and like was trying to track orangutans with a guide and wasn't successful and came back. And eventually my agent was like, you know, these are TV shows. Like the stories that you're telling me are TV shows. If you just brought a crew with you, you'd be able to go to different places. You'd be able to go for free. Why don't you consider that? And they were very sacred to me, so I kind of kept them. But then eventually I thought, well, that's true. I can't go to the Galapagos unless I get these filming permits, so maybe I'll ask. And then I met a producer, and I pitched the first episode of Wild Things, which is going to find my all-time favorite animal, which is the Ecuadorian army ant.
That's your all-time favorite. That's the number one, the Ecuadorian.
Yeah, ants are my biggest kind of animal-based heroes. You know, we can learn a lot from those societies, and they mirror our societies in a lot of ways. They live in very condensed quarters, but the way that they do things is different from the way that we do. I mean, Manhattan is in itself kind of a little ant's nest, you know. But if you look at an ant colony, no one goes hungry, no one gets murdered, no one gets raped, everyone gets fed, they look after their kids, they make cleaner soil, they make cleaner air, they make the environment better around them, healthier around them. We don't do that.
No, they've got it figured out.
We have a much larger brain. They themselves have a diminutive brain. But it's all about the group. It's about this. It's about the super organism. And if we thought about ourselves as which when you get down to a molecular level, we are one creature. We are one species having this existence. We'd be much more considerate of how we feel about each other, certainly, but how we feel about trees, how we feel about the sky and the ocean and stuff. You know, we're having this conversation all day in the car, going backwards and forwards. That like, it's such a short-sighted view of us that we're like, well. You know, there's problems with people that don't have houses, so we're going to build houses in places where there's currently forests, because who needs forests? There's no point. Forests create clean air. We need air more than we need houses. Obviously, we need houses, but really, what we need to do is control our species. You know, if there was another animal breeding in the same way that we would do something about it. We do things about it. When deer breed out of control, when elephants breed out of control, when any animal breeds out of control to the detriment of that species or us, we cull them. Now, I'm not saying you should cull humans, but in the 1980s, China had this one-child policy, and I think those guys are bang on it, because if we don't start controlling the population of our species, we're not going to survive, you know.